So recently, one of the Geometry Dash Daemon List moderators has announced that any records using the FPS lock bypass by Absolute Gamer will not be on the list, which is downright stupid. Like, if you know anything about how video games work, how computer hardware works, and how a monitor works, then you would see this as being totally okay. But no, I guess not. You know what, let's just watch his video. I think his name is Geometry Dash Noise. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, now you know this is going to be a great video because of that music in the background that all the vloggers are using now.
What's up, Mother Dashers? It's your boy, GM Dash Noise, and
I genuinely hope that this first section is supposed to be cringy. I'm pretty sure it is, but there is no guarantee.
Here with another commentary video.
This is not a commentary video. It is an update video. Come on, man. Look, you've used jump cuts in the video. That's the perfect time to use it. We don't want to hear you do that. I mean, this is kind of irrelevant, but it's just like, come on, man. Learn how to edit.
This one is about an entirely different topic. It's about a rule that we introduced a long time ago to the Daemon List, and recently there's been some controversy about it, so let's get started. So recently, Absolute Gamer put out a new Geometry Dash hack that basically allows you to unlock the FPS limit. And so basically you can get like an unlimited amount of frame rate.
An unlimited amount of frame rate. That's new.
Whatever you want, you put in the number, it does that. Basically, people have been using it because they say it makes the game easier, the experience better for them.
It does make the game smoother and easier, and I will get to that later. Stay with me.
And I think that's fine. If you want to use it, go for it. Ethically, I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. But from a list editor standpoint, we have some standards that we need to upkeep, and there's some problems that we see with this program, and I'm about to explain to you what those are. So for the first big point I want to get across is technically it is a hack.
It is not a hack. Do some research. Do not say it is technically a hack, because it is not technically a hack. You could say that ethically or logically it is a hack, but technically a hack is, I'm quoting the Urban Dictionary here, to break into a computer's systems with malicious intent. First of all, Absolute Gamer's hack does not break into a computer's system, and it does not have malicious intent. So it doesn't match either of the two criteria. It is not a hack. You are wrong.
And we state in the rules that you're not allowed to use any hacks.
Good, because we aren't.
At all for your gameplay. So, we could make an exception for that rule.
Great, then go for it. Do it. Please. That would benefit us all.
But we'd have to like write that all in and everything, and it would just be annoying.
Oh, okay, so you're just too lazy. Yeah, it's understandable, man. Dude, no, you're a list moderator. That's your job.
And we don't want to do that anyways, because of the other reasons I'm gonna say. So it technically is a hack.
Hack. To break into a computer system with malicious intent.
So it falls under the banned, like it's against the rules. So the second thing I wanted to say about it is the hack actually, it changes some of the code in the game, which in turn changes some of the physics. It doesn't really change any of the physics itself, but it takes out the frame rate limit, which in turn kind of like can change how the physics work in the game. So if you pick some random refresh rate, the physics might be completely different than just a normal 60 hertz.
You are really the most clueless person on how Geometry Dash and video games and Windows and anything to do with a monitor or a game's refresh rate works.
Experience. The thing that's risky about that is we don't actually really know if Absolute Gamer's hack does any changes that couldn't be incurred by actual hardware, like a new monitor. We can't really tell if it has its own little physics change that it like causes. Maybe, I don't know. it's just kind of risky because it does cause some visual bugs that I've never seen happen in Geometry Dash for any reason. So I think it's just too risky because it could be incurring actual physics bugs, which would be cheating. And there's no arguing with that, because if you have an alternate program that is altering like how your ship moves, of course it's going to be cheating, because that can be made to make it easier for you.
Yes, the game is easier, and let me explain the best I can. This is going to be difficult, but just bear with me. So let's say that you have 2 frames, and these frames are not the refresh rate of the game, but the refreshing of your monitor. Now, let's say that your monitor is 60 Hz. Therefore, without the program, your game would be running at 60 frames per second, which means that you can click here, 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 or here, and it will only take effect here, because the game is running at 60 frames per second. If you click between 2 frames, it will not take effect until the next frame comes around. The more frames there are, the faster it will come into effect. You might not see it right away because your monitor hasn't refreshed by the time the frame takes effect. However, it will make your flying smoother. It will make the game overall faster. It's the same reason that Counter-Strike players try to maximize their frames per second, even if their monitor can't show it, because their movements will take effect before they can see it, which is good. It makes the message go to the server faster that they have killed someone, or that they have dodged their fire, or some such action. For that reason, having a higher refresh rate is a good thing. And to add to that, you're acting as if 60 Hz is all you can have. However, 144 Hz is also accepted. So I think that you should either block any entries that are above 60 frames per second, or let us use the hack. Because let's say I have a 60 Hz monitor and I'm going to run the game at 240 FPS. I'm not allowed to do that because I have exceeded the FPS lock by using Absolute Gamer's program. However, Sung-Soo Kim, a 240 Hz player, can do that because he spent $500 on a monitor. No, please. No. That's not fair. That's not how it works. And it's stupid. Come on, man.
Which is essentially what this program is doing. It's just making the game easier for you, and it's a program, which is the biggest problem. And something to back that fact up is I have friends who have tested this hack. I tested the old one, the Megosta one, and it does really improve, even if you're on, it improves your overall playing ability, even if you're on 144 Hz. And everyone knows that once you go above 144 Hz, there isn't really much change that can happen. It isn't super noticeable past then. And so it kind of bothers me that if you are using this hack, all of a sudden there's this drastic increase, and you can just notice that the game is easier for you. And well, we find this as a problem because it just seems so artificial.
Okay, I don't think you know what artificial means, because it means made or produced by human beings rather than occurring naturally, typically as a copy of something natural. But that doesn't work because I am still playing the game. In fact, I'm playing it more naturally because I am not limited by the artificial FPS lock that RobTop has implemented. Okay, so you're probably talking about the second definition then. Of a person's behavior, in parentheses, insincere or affected. No. Because Absolute Gamer's program, it removes the artificial FPS cap that RobTop has implemented, therefore making your in-game movements more sincere and less affected, or more unaffected if you're that kind of person.
And unfair. The last thing I wanted to touch on, just like a little bit, it does cause some bugs. It is claimed by Absolute Gamer that all those bugs are only visual, and it doesn't cause any slow bugs or anything.
Very well then, our one source of information points at the bugs being purely visual. Anyone who wants to disprove him can go right ahead.
He says that in the video, but I'm not 100% sure if that can be true. I haven't tested it myself. I probably should have tested it because I'm making this video.
No, you definitely should have tested it because you're accusing Absolute Gamer's program of affecting the game's physics. However, you have no backing for that. You couldn't even lift your finger to click the button in-game. Like, come on, man. You are the laziest, most incompetent bag of nails that I have ever heard of. Like, seriously, you're not even doing your job as a list moderator. You haven't tested the program. You're just claiming that even though you haven't tested it, and Absolute Gamer has, that you're probably right in your assumptions that the program affects the game's physics. Like, no, at least do the test. So, since Absolute Gamer came out saying that the bugs were purely visual, it is up to you to prove him wrong. Because after all, he who asserts holds the burden of proof. You are asserting that he is wrong, yet you have not proven him wrong. You are telling him, indirectly, to prove you wrong. That's not how the world works. I hope you understand.
But I'm just too lazy.
Yes, you are too lazy, and that's my problem.
I wanted to put this out so that you guys knew where we're coming from. So anyways, feel free to argue with any of my points, debate them in the comments. I'll respond to any arguments that you guys have.
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't fit all my arguments into a YouTube comment, so hopefully you'll respond to this.
Yeah, so even if you don't agree with us, I guess now you'll have a clear vision of why we have this rule and why we're not allowing any records using the FPS bypass. And yeah, so thanks for watching. See you in the next commentary.
Oh, and a final message to Kostra, or Draconi Army, or whatever he calls himself now. His video on how the FPS bypass affects your hardware is total garbage. Like, I usually like your stuff, but that video was garbage. He said that it can affect your PC or hurt your PC because the fans on his graphics card started spinning up when he uses it. Yeah, that's what happens when your GPU runs at full load, buddy. That's not a bad thing, unless you've dangerously overclocked it. Like, that's what your graphics card is meant to do. That's why you have a good graphics card. Like, dude, running at full capacity isn't dangerous. That's just what computers do. So hopefully I get a response, and I'd just like to say that don't really pay too much attention to the demon list. It's good for seeing like a couple of guys' opinion on who has the hardest demon and who, like, what it is, but it's not good for seeing who's beaten it. And by the way, what's up with Sonic Wave and Erebus? They've just been like going up and down between each other, so maybe saying that it's a credible source for the hardest demon is a bit of a stretch. Yeah, make up your mind, guys.